Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kiran and you're watching Master of Nowhere. Today we are going to discuss a few things that you need to consider before understanding how exactly you need to overcome the fear of rejection, right? Fear of rejection, yes, of course, everybody in this world has this FOMO of being rejected by anybody. Like if you want to go and propose a girl, you are scared to do that. You are going to an interview, you're scared to do that. Everybody in this world have this some all kind of fear, right? So we need to get over this. How exactly we need to get over this? There are many people in this world trying to figure out how exactly we need to get over this fear of rejection. But let me tell you in very simple format or simple things that you need to start working on yourself, which will obviously make you the better person. Right. So when I started giving an interviews like 4 to 5 years before was my first job, it's not an easy thing for an individual of from an Indian family, from a middle class guy to go to a corporate world and give the first interview. It's not that easy as you think. So I started giving these interviews at the big companies because I always dreamt of doing them. I started going to these interviews and I started presenting myself. I was doing just fine. I was not doing good, right? So the corporate people are rejecting me. So I went to this 10 to 15 interviews, like almost 10 to 15 interviews in like a month, and I came to one realization that I'm not going to get any job, right? I don't know why I got to that conclusion, but yes, we all get to that conclusions. We all come to that conclusions and tell ourselves that okay, I'm not going to get this because I'm not good at this. Now you might be listening to me for the first time, and you might be thinking, I don't like this man's voice or something. I don't even like my voice either, but I'm trying to do something to get over my fear of being rejected by the people. Today, I'm going to tell you the three things that I considered when I started going to interviews. Remember that I'm not a person from a big family. I am a person from a normal middle class family from India, and also consider I don't have parents in my life who support and who encourage me. Right. I started going to interviews. The first thing I considered is I'm not going to give up. So first thing I consider is when I'm going to an interview, I know there will be some kind of rejection that I'm going to face, but I'm not going to stop trying at least. I'm not going to give up on myself at least. I don't want to give up on me. First of all, I just wanted to make sure that even though the rejection is coming, even though I'm not fit for the job, even though I'm not the right person for the job, I want to try it. I want to make sure that at least I want to tell myself that yes, I've tried. There are many people I compare to and tell, okay, these people are not even trying, at least I'm trying. I can tell that to myself, but I don't want to tell that to myself because if I compare myself with somebody else, then of course I'm not understanding the proper instance of that thing, right? So now I wanted to tell you is first, never give up trying, right? Never give up. Just think about it. Just whenever you feel rejected, never try. Don't be scared of trying for the second time. Don't be scared of doing it another time. Don't be scared of giving another chance to it. Always remember that whatever happens in your life, there is always a second chance, right? Let's go for the second thing. Second thing I've considered myself is yes, if I compare myself with the people who are top, then obviously I feel low. If I compare myself with the people who are down, then I feel top. Now, what does this mean? So, if I'm going to an interview, or I'm going to give my interview at the best. But there are always the people who give more than the best. There is always the people who give the best and they get selected, right? If I'm going to a company to give my presentation, right? So then obviously I feel that I'm pretty sure that somebody is always there ahead of me. Somebody is always there to make sure that to make me feel like I'm low. Okay, now let's imagine there is always a set of people who are lower than you, not in terms of your qualities, not in terms of your quantities or something. I'm not defining or I'm not labeling it yet, anything, right? But I want to say there are always people who think less than you, who think, okay, man, this guy is at least he's the perfect guy for doing this. At least I'm not the right guy to do this, right? So there is always a set of people who is behind you. There is always a set of people who is just before you. So if you compare yourself with the people who is behind you, then you will feel like you are ahead and you feel confident. So if you're comparing with the people who are on the high, you will never be able to understand what the life is. If you're a person who compares with the people who are on the low side, then you will understand that you are in a better position than so many people. So I told myself, okay, at least I'm going to interviews. At least I'm trying. Okay, at least I'm being confident. Or at least I'm not giving up on myself. Then I started giving these interviews again and again and again. That I told myself I'm going to compare with the people who are just below me, not above me, or not the greatest people. So that's how I figured that out. And the third important thing I wanted to tell you guys is if you keep trying, if you keep trying, and the only thing that matters is trying. Remember this. This is very important for any individual who is listening to this or watching this on YouTube or listening to this on Google Podcast or anywhere else in the world. I want to tell you, if you keep trying, if you keep trying, there is something that you need to remember is there are people who try, there are people who give up, but there are people who try even though the route doesn't seem to be an ending, or there is the they can't even see, okay, there is an ending. I will go there and I will find the victory. Yes, there are people who doesn't know where exactly they are heading. There are people that doesn't even understand where they but they keep trying. I wanted to tell you, dear brother and sister, today is if you keep trying, if you make sure that you're trying the best, if you make sure that you're trying, if you make sure that at least you're not giving up on yourself, and if you make sure to not, not to compare yourself with anybody who is above you, who is anybody who is taller than you. If let's say if you are shorter, like I'm short guy, okay. If you think you want to look tall, there's one good example that one of my oldest brother gave me is if you want to look tall, you have to go and stand behind the shortest person. If you want to look short, you have to go and stand beside a person who's tall. Just imagine this, right? You are the average guy or average person, right? You still go to this person who is taller than you and stand there. You feel shorter than him. If you go to a person who is shorter than you go and stand behind him or beside him, you'll feel that you are tall. So that's how it matters, right? If you compare yourself with the people who is not who is not really is at your leagues or at your stage, then obviously you feel low, right? Don't do that. Always make sure to think, always make sure to never keep trying, always make sure to tell yourself that you're doing best, and always compare yourself with the people who are more down than you, than the people who are more up. Always make sure that you are doing a good job and you need to keep trying. Never give up and make sure you are having a good day. Thanks for listening to this amazing podcast, guys. I know this is sounds like a different these days, and understanding these things are not clear for me as well, but I'm trying my best to give you the best content possible. Maybe you have feedback, maybe you have things that you have to talk to me about. There is always your friend here. Keep watching and keep listening to my all my podcasts, and make sure you share this with your friends and family.